morning for the United States, good evening for Asia, good afternoon for Europe, and also for Africa. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that a lot of new people will be joining us very soon, because really it's a Monday, people are busy. I mean, in our business, public relations, if you have 1 hour to spend on masterclass, then it's a luxury already. So I thank you very much, all of you, but also I thank to our distinguished speaker today, Denisa Juna. And Denisa, is it Juna or Yuna?
Yuna, but you can say both.
Denisa Juna. So, I mean, it's logical to be Juna. The way it's spelled Yuna, I would put Y to be more clear. But Denisa, thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
He is a founder and CEO of Pyxis.media, which is a leading tech PR agency based in small and beautiful Switzerland, where our forum is based not far away from Davos in the city of Zug. She operates fully remotely and also is managing a team of 45 experts spread over Prague, London, and Zug. And aside the presentation, I hope that Denisa will explain to us how she's managing 45 people all over Europe and make them very efficient and very result-oriented. Today's topic is dedicated on Web3 brand communications, and we call this trust, engagement, and success. Is it really engagement? Is it successful? And to what extent it relies on trust? Denisa will explain to us, and also we'll talk about the understanding the transitions from Web2 to Web3. By the way, not many people all over the world understand exactly this transition from Web2 to Web3. I belong to this category of people who don't understand this and will be watching with big curiosity and attention the presentation of Denisa. Then she will talk about adapting the PR strategies to the Web3 environment and development. We'll talk about targeting audiences across Web3 and Web2 and Web3 communities, and very, 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 very interesting things beside that. Again, thank you very much, Denisa Juna, and you have the floor.
Thank you, my pleasure. I want to ask, do you see the presentation already?
Absolutely. No, we see the first slide of the presentation, not the whole presentation.
Of course. But
we see the first slide.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so thank you for having me. Hello for everyone. Let's dig in. Okay. You make the welcome. Thank you for so much. I will maybe just make it again. Yeah, I'm a founder and CEO of Web3 PR agency, and with a team of contractors on global scale, and we are based in Prague, London, and Zug. And I built the agency from the ground when I felt that I crossed the line in the PR agency where I work and found out that I don't think differently than others and want to build it by my own. So with the vision to run it entirely remotely, which I offered my team both freedom, but also significant responsibility, we attracted high-profile clients from the Web2 and Web3. And our values are foster partnership with our clients based on absolutely trust and mutual cooperation, because with the virtual communication needed. So recently, I also already have started work on my second startup, Zia, with the mission to integrate Web3 into everyday life and educate young people about it on the TikTok. Max already mentioned what we are going to run, so I will skip this slide. And I want to say just in the beginning that I want to point out that and note that there are really plenty of explanation what is Web3 and what it does mean for marketing and PR industry. So I want to know that what I'm going to talk about are some for our own experience or cases with which I personally agree and think works and will work hopefully in the current bull market. So let's dive in. I will use the phrase from Amanda. She is early founder of Consensus, who says, and it's brilliant, that in both words, Web2 and Web3, the synergy between marketing and a product is like bone and muscle. So the product is a bone. If you're all bone, you will sit on the floor, solid but stuck. But if you will have a muscle but no bones, you will be floppy. So you need really both of it. And it's true for the Web2 and the Web3 brands. Without both, it will not gonna work at all. So we are here to build understanding for the landscape from marketing PR perspective. And if you look from the inside in the Web2 marketing and the PR perspective, we are focusing on strong building reputation and for sure for growth and selling. Yeah. But the brand spent a big budget on social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok to run campaigns, paid partnership with 3 parties, on events or media and BTL marketing, centralized billboards, basically offline promotions. And in centralized brand, you have a big pile of cake, the whole form of marketing PR strongly revolves around the sales and growth, right? So when you think about brand communication in Web3, seriously trash most of the Web2 hacks, which you have in your drawer and tools, unless your client is from centralized exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, or you can easily measure ROI and have a large budget. So in the Web3, you have to go back to roots when digital marketing wasn't in the hype. With the Web3 brands, the basement of the growth and building the trust belongs to communities. Everything is around communities. And it's very fragile to build the community because those few tens of members will be your main rocky, solid builders who will help you build the name. This is very important to plug those few members deep into your vision and who will spark enthusiasm into the next pace. So in the Web2, you are making your target groups, you name them more like customers or leads. And in Web3, you name them community members. It's very different shift strategy. In the Web2, your target group is probably B2C and B2B. But in the Web3, if we talk really about decentralized project in your stage, you will talk more to the B2D, to developers as well. And you don't have to explain audience how the product works into Web2, but what does. But in the Web3, it could be opposite. You have to, your B2D, the community, explain how it works as well. And in the Web2, you work with the high budgets, right? And in the Web3, you are almost without sometimes, and you have to figure it out how to attract audience. So then you will see that the marketing and the PR strategies around Web3 are more sustainable than in the Web2. And in the Web2, you build the marketing and PR around founder, around CEOs, leader. But in the Web3, you work as a community and what more, sometimes with anonymous communities. Yeah, decentralized anonymous organization, and they want to perform as a group, and it's very tough. So in the Web2, you are using wide palettes of marketing tools and channels. In the Web3, you have to build more like your own font. But of course, it's starting with the Twitter and ending with the Discord, Telegram, and mostly with the offline events as well. Then in the Web2, you are mostly online a lot. In Web3, of course, either. But the communities love to engage personally. So they want to share their enthusiasm and spare the oxygen to plug in the newbies. And when you are in the Web2, you cooperate with established brands or startups who probably have investors at their backs who already have experience with marketing and PR. And in the Web3, you cooperate with very technical nerd niche folks who do not understand marketing and PR, and you have to learn how to listen them and understand them and translate that to the marketing message. It's not easy at all. And in the Web2, you can probably very fast absorb who is the brand, what is the purpose. But in the Web3, you have to be into it. You have to read their ecosystem and understand the tech side behind. And you have to understand how it works and deeply as possible. You have to deeply understand the main components of the project. And if you really want to help Web3 brands with the marketing and PR, how you can do it without your knowledge, right? So the hack, which works for me, I you can take a code, for example, the Udemy or Code Academy. For myself, I did it Udemy, and also I attend a Woman Hackathon where we tokenize real estate for SDX. It's world's leading exchange for digital assets here in Switzerland. And this is the way how you will improve, for example, yourself, and it will be possible to bring to the Web3 brands as much spark as you can, and still be with one leg, of course, in the Web2 and try to figure it out how to merge those two words into something powerful and finding ways how to attract your community members. So now let's deep dive a little bit more how to adapt some marketing strategies which can work from Web2 and the Web3. Well, what is still same is that you have to know your products and know your audience, which we will touch later a little bit. And the most powerful marketing strategies in Web3 come from deeply understanding one's product audience. And this is a necessary step which you can skip. You can't skip it or work around it. So you have to figure it out how and where to connect the two with the right messaging on the right channels. And there is not just PR or brand or marketing strategy. Everything must click together. So if you are hired to run PR campaign, first talk to each team of the brand, understand the product and the audience. Then you can develop sustainable whatever campaign, yes. And really in the Web3 more than Web2, the main core of great success in marketing is brilliant products. And in Web2, you can sell gold, everything, but in the Web3, really the centralized project, you don't get your members drunk on walls at all. For developing successful strategy, the main point number which I mentioned is have a brilliant product. And a lot of interesting Web3 startups are being created every day, but if you, as an agency or advisor or specialist in your area, jump on the boat with them with the goal to help them raise and shine, and the product will not be ready with a low quality, then don't take this job seriously. Maybe you will be able to help them temporarily and make some buzz, but it will be one-night aid. One of my case study, let me tell you one of our experience. We have been proposed by one BTC Bitcoin conference to help them with media relations to attract native Bitcoiners and early bird Bitcoiners to attend this conference. And it sounds big, but with great names as a Mike Saylor and more, but it was their absolutely first event ever. So the trust by media was lower than we expected. And the media didn't believe us that someone like him will come. And in the other hand, the client was so busy that even when journalists from Crypto Forbes was interested to come, they were not to open the cover the costs or to reach hosts to interviews, for example, in Benzina. So this is one of the case. If the brand is not ready, be cautious. But, and by the way, this client, now they are brilliant now. They are running event this year again, but easily they haven't been ready, and we should took note before we were hard, we underestimated. So if you really believe in the product and the value are strong, and you know that they are ready and you can be right match for them, then great, and go for it. It's same like in the Web2, you have to set up your goals and measure them for sure. What we do with each client is setting the OKRs and basically the objective which must be smart and key results which are aiming to the goal. So the most common marketing goals for a Web3 project are growing their audiences or communities and converting them to using or buying the product, right? So in the Web2, we are usually run PESO marketing model, which including paid media. We are talking, it's about boosting content and native advertising, social media advertising, sponsored content and email marketing. Then about the earned media, we talk about organic media outreach, where you have your contacts with the journalists in a very tight relationship. And the shared media, it includes social networking, community, partnerships, distribution and promotion. It could be on Discord and Slack, Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. And then you have own media. It's content you own. It could be blog, your own column media, your own podcast, newsletter, etc. And in the top of it, we are talking about high budgets, which are spending in high paid marketing campaigns on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads. TikTok, which you are testing on the selected audiences, and you test and optimize it in its cycle, right? So together with the PR campaigns, like paid media partnership and offline campaigns to target audience in a different formats, including merchandising and events, and maybe giveaways to drive marketing to keep your customers be involved. In the Web2, the brands along the strategies buys followers or community members and don't care too much who they are actually. And they invest to the quantity instead to the quality. And the same with the media earnings, which is, I think, very, very, very shame. And in the Web3, your strategy, your focus should be more on the quality, right? Who are the members who are coming to your community and who exactly they are and what they want. And you are building very strong basement of the people who will helping you build the brand with you. It's actually very sustainable because you have like 3 employees. And sometimes the Web3 brand feel that they have to grow fast and are obsessed with growing their Twitter or Discord at all costs. And this is wrong strategy. You will absorb people who will not take care about your brand in the future, and they just come maybe for airdrop free tokens or NFTs, and then in the short term will disappear. So set up functional Web3 strategy. You should use the funnel which has in each step the call to action, which covers the discover. It's the phase where the potential member will discover you at the first time, and you value the message, attract him and bring him to the second step of engagement, where the member will explore and play with the product. If he understands, he become to be a user. And then it's very important to retain him to come back for more, for sure. So in the Web2, like large corporates sometimes using for covering their press release and distributed system like Season or Presswire. And you will get coverages, but build a media relation with both journalists doesn't work like that, and you know that, right? So physical meetings and personification communication with each journalist who is important for your brand is the gold gem for you. And you can, of course, use in Web3 crypto-based brand like Chainwire. But what you will get for 3K USD is like 16 coverages, but with a label per paid partnership, right? So, well, this is something what Web3 natives will hate you, and you will not get a trust at all, actually. So for Web3 brands, the more powerful tool which you can do for your strategies is really to align with your potential members, with your audience, and is to attend to those events, and also to run your own events. And this is the way how to attract newbies, attract the media, and meet personal with journalists, how to introduce yourself and attract investors, attend event, have everything under a roof. And if you attend as a speaker, you will build the trust and you will become the opinion leader in your industry as well. So if you will build your own good, then you'll be likely to come to you to engage with you, and you can engage with your journalists and build the trust in the brand in the event. So let's go dive in about more targeting in the communities. As I mentioned in the Web2, you are attracting more like leads, and here in Web3, really talking about the members and the community members. Just a second, I have some problem here. Well, so if you work with a great product, then more than in Web2, you have to very carefully know your audience for sure. So you have to first decide who really is your customer, in which stadium the Web3 brand is, and where are your community members. And if you are in the early stages, start with the core team, the project, who are they, what they want, how they want to do it, what are they believe in the product. And then you have to test your message on them, evaluate and pivot if it's necessary, and try to attract the same folks around. Because if you don't attract those several members, hundreds or thousands, how you can attract like millions in the future, right? Again, the same problem. I can't see the presentation now, sorry. Oh, I am here. So if your brand is established and study your current audience, use those channels where they live and understand what they don't like and what they want to avoid, and run the marketing according like, instead of offering them what you think is gonna works. So don't just sit in the table and the chairs and talk about we wish, we want, but ask the community what they want and what are they allergic, what do I want to avoid. And keep them organically network on the offline elements, evaluate, ask and measure and what works and what doesn't, and feed Discord and hold up, for example, with X, with Twitter, where you can work on the marketing mission. It looks easy, but it's very deep strategy, which needs a lot of patience. And also, it's possible you will have to target B2C and B2D. So you have to split them totally. You can't run the same messages, of course. So if you are Web2 brand, and transit to the Web3, you probably will not to talk your customers with the Web3 jargon. And Web3 native customers will dump you if platform forces them to use a centralized custody wallet, for example. But the total newbie in Web3, they do not have a wallet, right? So they will stay stuck in complicated UX steps. So what you have to do is satisfy needs of both sides. And for example, great example is case study of NFTs at the NBA, which took NFTs and set up further than most brands or individual doing NFT drops by creating its own licensed NFT platform called NBA Top Shot. And the platform facilitates the buying, selling, and trading of licensed NBA highlights. And these collectibles are digital NFTs. And they turn iconic moments in NBA history into NFTs, which created a sense of exclusivity around the ownership of the clips. And investors can acquire and trade basketball moments by rarity players, etc. And or the same, did the Reddit, which launched a collection of NFTs and left out the totally blockchain language entirely and simply calling the series digital collectibles. And then launched like 150,000 NFTs for 2030 each for user to purchase. It was possible with fiat or crypto, and they use it for their profile pictures on a Reddit. And roughly 3 million new wallets or Reddit wallets were created with the launch, and it generates some great millions. So the UX and steps must be very clear, easy, otherwise the customer will fall out of the funnel. Let's go deep more to the channels. I have a problem with the presentation again. I am there, I think. Yeah, I'm there. So there are like already plenty of decentralized social media, but the mass adoption is very slow and it's used to just by native Web3 users. Yeah, so if we are talking about a great impact regarding marketing and building personal brand PR, we stay with a centralized platform to boost mass adoption. And probably the most important channel for both is Twitter, the X, which is used in the Web2 and Web3 as well. But although on the other hand, still criticized for sure with the Web3 users, but still is the main channel where the crypto blockchain entities, DeFi project hold their finger on the button. And the Twitter is where Web3 lives and share the news to newbies. So then Web3 natives must do DRI, which means do your own research. The first step is go into the Twitter. And it gives potential investors, community members overview and feedback how far the project is and if the engagement is strong enough. Because if you have just few followers or a lot of followers, for example, but engagement is very low, something's smelly, right? So while we are seeing growth in decentralized apps like Lens Protocol or the Farcaster, widespread adoption is not still yet here. So one of the use case could be that when Luna founder, tweet that encourages community to hold other their tokens after collapse of his project, then had suddenly cost them billions. Crypto Twitter summarily executed him, and they wouldn't let him get away with it. So, but the flip side is that other founders are very supportive to each other because they literally need each other. So the Twitter can be really, let's say, cruel sometimes. Yeah, for brands or alignments with more corporate focus to B2B, is LinkedIn. It's very first invaluable, I think, and particularly for engaging with an institution or corporation across diverse spheres. From my point of view, I use LinkedIn a lot because you are in touch with your potential business clients, but as well with your teammates, etc. So LinkedIn, it's a very powerful tool as well for the Web3 companies too. And then if you are digging more through an NFT project, your clients NFT, then Instagram, it's a very great way. This is the place for aesthetic project or Web3 wearables companies. For example, like RTFKT, if the project really have a capacity or produce educational content, then, for example, YouTube is probably the best way as well. And if we are talking about TikTok, which I have experience with, for Web3 brands, if you are targeting a very young population and want to educate, one of the options is true, but you fight with very tough algorithm when you have to attract audience in 3 seconds with a juicy hook. Otherwise, your post is getting down to the dark very, very fast. And if you are starting absolutely project from the zero and you have 0 followers on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever, what you have to do is drive your audience from some existing project where you are. In fact, you will probably spend large budget for social media campaigns to buy the customers. But in the Web3, in the early stage project, and growing social media platform, you have to start with the organic way. So for example, you will listing the colleagues, teammates, friends, investors, people from personal or other businesses account that the brand partner and who will happy to help you bootstrap the social media account. And do not ignore micro influencers because they are very powerful. And remember that in the Web3, the quality is over the quantity. So the funnel of final customers is much more higher if you have 10K strong build community members than 1 million followers, where just few % are your customers. And start with the first few members, plug them into the Telegram, where you can actually all of new be direct, and the community will help him to adopt very, very nicely. Okay, and the difference between messaging in the Web 2 and Web 3 is that in the Web 2, the brand has C-level board, and they usually make an agreement what kind of message will go out and what to keep under the lid or how to attract customers, right? To avoid them to sniff some problem around. So it is a centralized agreement of few members who push the message to the marketing and the PR team who is charged of the communication exactly what they want. And in Web3, the purely decentralized project, the community talking by themselves as a DAO. So they talk about good and the bad. They are not hiding crimes under the carpet. And they know that all their brand strategy is built up on a strong community, and you must be very transparent and trustful. But what is true for both is that authenticity is everything. The community or the founder should align with the true identity by sharing content and opinions that genuinely reflects his beliefs. Very great example is the Sushi Swap, who had a very great Twitter account before the project actually blew up, and he transparently talked to his community. So with the Web2 brands, we usually working with the founder or CEO as the face of the brand and push this person across the channels to build the trust to the audience. But in the Web3, you work with sometimes whole communities, yeah, with decentralized organizations who are open to talking openly without adapt. But it doesn't mean that they will randomly spread the word on Twitter or Discord, right? Or of course, the message are great up in the organization and mean fully confirmed, but they maybe don't want to talk as, you know, one-man show, but a whole community. And how to build a trust into the newly come Web3 project after several years of some big fuck-ups, right? Because we have here the FT collapse, Quadrica CS, where when the founder disappeared or died, you know, or mid-fleet hacks, those are from centralized world. And then from the tech side, or purely decentralized, we of course in 2016, what was the crash time for the Ethereum DAO was that they launched Ethereum blockchain after raising, I think, $150 million, which is worth ETH, and through a token sale, and the DAO was hacked due to vulnerabilities in the code base. So if you took around, most of the cases showing the problem regarding security and the tough work of hackers, right? So our work of marketers and PR communication specialists is to cooperate with the trustworthy brands. You as an agency or consultant or PR specialist, you must believe in the brand and the value proposition. So ask what is behind, what is the vision, mission, what are the core values, do your own research on the brand. And if there is nothing, or it sounds not clear that something stinks here, the brand is not ready, or it's not great gig for you. So sometimes Web3 projects have so much to gain economically for positive coverage in top of outlets that many are willing to say anything to earn it, right? Regardless of whether information is true. So this is our work to cooperate with brands who are verified. Then the message can be trustful. So for example, are already funded, or they came to you from another brand who you already cooperate with, so you can trust them a little bit more. And then you can cooperate with the trustful brand, and then journalists will know that you are a good source of information, and they're gonna be willing to cooperate with you more than with maybe anybody else. Develop your message and convincing potential users first that they have a problem, and the second that the project's product solved this. And the message must be clean, sharp, and very easily remembered. So what we try to encourage our clients is to invoke a habit loop. And it's a neurological loop that governs any habit. And the habit loops consist of 3 elements. It's a cue, a routine, and a reward. And understanding these elements can help in understanding how to change bad habits or form better ones. So if you introduce how to solve X epsilon problem, which your customer already has, and allow him to solve it in that way, it's a trigger, and that he will learn new habits, you probably never lose him. And this is something which brands should always try to incorporate into the marketing and PR strategies. So very great study is not from Web3, but from the 90s, from the Procter & Gamble, who developed Free Breeze. It's the spray which to get rid of the unpleasant smell. So What they did exceptionally well, it wasn't just used when wet smell happened, so you are going to tidy up, but it was used habitually after every cleaning, every day, for example. So that when you finish tidying your flat, it's a routine, you spray the freebies and it was the reward. And they become the top seller for that. So they learn their customers to loop to do what they need. And I have to say that build trust with top tier 1 media regarding, let's say, Web3 is challenging, but it's not impossible. What is the same in Web2 and Web3 is that journalists more likely cover information which cover high numbers, data, reports flip on the side, of course, the crisis messages as well. And if you're hiding something and a community talk about and you go viral and do not want to explain to journalists, they will find their own path. So one of the brands we ensured just media relation was for Registered Sound, the founder of Tron. It's a blockchain ecosystem. We organized for them several press conferences in Geneva, which went very well, and we covers all over the Swiss French media like Bill and Latam, Bloomberg, etc. But we haven't in our power what journalists wrote without our knowledge. So what happened was that they cover several pages that were just in some based on their data and investigation because the brand was not open to talk more about, and he's very controversial. But in the other hand, you build trust with your journalists with very nice projects like Shamir Backup by Satoshi Labs, who developed hard wallet Trezor, one of the most globally used hard wallet. And now maybe we can talk more about you and what you are doing, guys, because you are here, maybe we are specialists in Web3 as well. So I'm happy to hear more about you, or if you have some question.
I can see that we are now 18 participants. So if any one of you want to ask Denisa something, just write it down on the chat box, or just raise a hand or turn on your mics. Meanwhile, Denisa, thank you so much for this presentation. I have a question for you. You hear me well?
Yes, I hear you.
So my question is, you've shown us how we can target our audience and build trust. But I'm very interested on this other point of view, how you can target your actual partners. Let's say if you want to engage with business companies to create something with your company in terms of NFTs, let's say, like Nike, the business company is creating something for NFT marketplace, or how you can target influencers to make your brand more popular, because usually that's something difficult as well. Maybe email marketing is something useful, or is just the opposite of this? What do you think?
From my point of view, it really depends on the big size of the brand. If you have a large client like Nike, of course, then influence the influencers or cooperate with them. It's not difficult. I think we never cooperate with Nike with such a size. But if you, for example, want to more cooperate with some startup, they don't have money at all. So and if you, to the question of the B2B, where to more cooperate with the business who are like in your same space like you, the best way is really to face-to-face meetings and events and participate on their events, or make your own events and bring them to your event, because then you can more cooperate with them very tightly, and you will figure it out what you can do together, for example, etc. So I hope I answered your question, but still, it's not just with the communities, but same with the business partners. Very important are the meetings. It could be online, but better, of course, after COVID, sometimes the offline meetings are the best in the Web3 space.
Thank you. Okay. Are there more questions? Well, Denisa, there is some of our participants who asked for the presentation. I hope it will be nice to share with some of them. We also got requested on emails that some of the people would like the presentations as well and the recordings. So it will be all shared soon on our website, WCFAglobal.com.
Samo sekunda, sekunda. Možda je dobro važno se malo. Merci. So, Denisa, really thank you very much. Vielen Dank. Dziękuję moc krát. And to, dziękuję bardzo. So whatever language you wanna be thanked, we really thank you.
Yeah,
Gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. In 1 or 2 days, the presentation will be on the website of the World Communications Forum in Davos. Don't forget to become members, to be listed on the website, to have your profile there, to take part in our amazing options like Agency Tracker or Speakers Bureau, and a lot of them, you can find them on WCFAglobal.com. And we hope very soon to see all of you, including Denisa, at our next masterclass. And don't forget to register to the World Communications Summit or Davos Summit online on Zoom, June 12th. So we'll be very, very happy to see you again, both on masterclasses, on, of course, at the summit. And in the meantime, if you have questions, ask Denisa, ask me, ask Jessica. Wishes for a very nice week. And to be honest, we love you.